Warning.
Ninja? Are you kidding me? Scheiße. Hi. Only one ninja was harmed during the making of this film. Get it! The rest of them were killed. Could you help me with this?
Music. Hey, music. No, music heat, man. Music heat. Music heat. Yani, applause. Heat up here. Heat, music heat and music heat. Music heat, yeah. Music and me applause. Music heat, music heat, yeah. Music heat, music. In this video, we'll dive into the movie Ninja Assassin. We will discuss the storyline, some plot, and explore the cast and characters. Additionally, we will cover the movie's production details and box of his performance. Finally, we will provide views and share personal reaction. So, let's get started. Ninja Assassin is the first action movie. This file delivers on what it promises. Lots of ninja action. I am a sucker for a good ninja fight. No matter how choreographed it is, the silent but deadly ninja was a huge part of the 80s action movie subculture since I grew up in the 80s. I have seen everyone that I can get my hand on. Yes, that includes American Ninja. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Ninjas doing what they do best. Being Sani have slowly crept into the popular culture over time. Might Meet MattBearsWritten.com has grown in papyrology in the recent year. Ninja Session is a good, not good attempt at making a good ninja. Action flick by director James MC, but it's far from perfect. The opening scene sets the tone for the type of action we are going to be treated to. Highly styles, bloody and violent as hell, just the way a ninja would do it. There's so many severed limbs in Ninja Assassin that I was beginning to think. I was watching a S movies, or Saving Private. Ran, except him, with ninja. The blood of the movie is actually pretty good. That is, the ninja story is good. The non-ninja related material, however, is garbage. The main focus is one of revenge, and to a lesser degree, redemption. I also could not help but feel a bite of sleeping siblings civilly between Resrazo and Taxi as they compared to win favor with their father. Ozono played brilliantly by old-school movie Ninja Legend Show. There are 9 ninjas clans that have been around for 1,000 years, and they increase their ranks by kidnapping children and raising them in a way AB Ninja until they become lean mean as Kicking Machine. Over time, Rizzo finds that Kick has a place in his heart for something other than ninja. Her name is Ko, and she is young girl in his clan. The relationship between Nico and Rizzo is actually Raider touching, and soon began to have feeling for her until she decided to run away from the clan, and he does not go with her. That's a big no in clan rules, and she is murdered by his brother Takeshi and the others of Ozono, in front of all the young clan member. Jump forward a few years to Resu's first mission on his 18th birthday. He turned his back on the clan, his brother, and his father and becomes Arvin of the Haunted. If writers San and J. Michael has just stuck to the story, then the whole movie would have been very interesting. Unfortunately, they decided to include several tro of a character and a ridiculous controvert subplot involving your agent's Mike Kitty. Micah finds the money until dealing several political murder to group of ninja. Assassin by using nothing more than a V references to 100 IBS of gold and bank deposit. The movie really goes off the track when the non-ninja character Aaron, in fact, everything that is not ninja related in a movie just plain suck and makes no incense whatsoever. Micah and Ryan are based in Berlin, Germany, and work your Bull agents, but are under investigation by the FBI, CIA, and Homeland Security for apparently getting too close about ninja. Okay, then, for some unexplained reason, Arishian operative is introduced to the story for no reason other than Ma to end up with a box of the Ozono clan-related sacral and picture. Rhiannon has a convert meeting with her in Aish parking guards to get out and run for her life, because all these big Trom police organization and ninjas are after them. Ninjas attack in the dark, using the shadow to hide and wait for the right traw on them victim. So what does Micah do? But she get home and finds out the problem is after her building and knows the ninja are coming for her. Why go into the dark building alone and try to beg? Of course, there the rest of the non-ninja story is more of the same uninspired filer, including mandatory Hollywood bashing reference to the bear. That entire scene was nothing more than a secure-to-have ninja fight in a massive war warehouse. Guys with guns versus ninja and stars gas who wins that fight. Micah is constantly telling Reizo that we can't trust Maslow, but each time they do the situation versus in me. Bad is mass good. Who cares our dirty ninja? We dear here many ninjas are on the second screen in the classic full ninja enter, including the Black Hood sub-toy shows and dual sword. It is truly remarkable. Fight Chographers X-Men, Orison Wolverine Rambo, and They Will Speed Racer are in top martial art from here, because every second is a ninja on screen. Then you can be sure the action is going to be intense. My one complaint about the fight in Ninja Assassin was the use of all the digital blood. The same technique was used in The Blood, the Last Vampire, and it's becoming more prevalent in Japanese Styles fight. I am just not that into it yet. I suppose perhaps it will grow on me in time. The other thing I noticed is that the blood in every human on the planet is sitting in a veins at around 120 psi. Because when they get hit by a swat of Ninja Star, their blood lightly explode from their blood bodies. My favorite part of Ninja Assess had to be the use of digital Ninja Star. Listening to them swish by my head in 7.1 digital surrounded sound was fantastic, and watching Ninja more people don with diamond instead of bullers was great overall. I would go see Ninja Session. Again, it's the only real choice this holiday weekend for someone wanting to watch an action movie. Fantastic. Mr. Fox and A Blind Slide, both of which I hear are good film. Would be great films if they just had one thing in them. Ninja Assassin 2009 is a high-octane martial art action movie that combines stylish choreography with intense drama and mysterious ninja lore. Directed by James MCM and produced by the film takes Oasis on a thrilling journey into the darity world of the ancient assassin hidden in the shadows of modern society, with Rain in the lead role. This movie definitely defined how Ninja's aware portrait only peaks again. Introduction: That Rise of Ninja Assassin. 2009 plot summary of Ninja Assassin cast and characters' martial arts and fight choreography. In this comprehensive review and analysis, we will explore the plot, characters, themes, cinematography, and cultural impact of Ninja Assassin. This deep dive will uncover why the film continues to resonate with fans of the martial arts cinema. From bloody fight scene to the emotional backstories, Ninja Assassin is more dangerous than action flick. It's a story of the revenge, honor, and transformation. Ninja Assassin began with a brutal assassination carried out by unseen various, setting the tone for the rest of the film. The story centers around Reizo, on one of the deadliest assassins trained by the Onzo clan, a secret society that raises orphans to become perfect killer. However, after witnessing the cruel murder of his friend Ko-Razo turn his back on the clan and seeks revenge. Ma Kuredi Ayoro researchers uncovers a money trail linked to political assassination, which leads her to the existence of the ancient ninja clan. Riso saves her from being assassinated by the Ozono clan, and to tune him up to bring the organization down. As Riso confronts his past, he engages in the multiple bloody battle that test his skill resolve and humanity. Rain as Reizo, a former of Orphan Churn Little Ninja Reizo, is a Portuguese Holy Bells against the Owner clan, a determined Yupal agent who becomes all a performance as Reizo received praise for his intense physical preparation and dedication. Kosugi Ali Sant in Ninja Sana returned to the general with a chilling performance as Lord Ozono. One of the standout features of Ninja Assassin is all-rit fight choreography. The film showcases his high-speed battle filed with the Aerotech's skilled and expertly executed martial art. The use of CGI-enhanced weapon and gore amplifies the intensity. The action sequences are art to ninja films while incorporating modern visual effect. The blend of traditional technique with cinematic flair makes every fight a visual specter. Fans of martial arts cinema will appreciate the homage paid to idol ninja movies while enjoying the line bumping for freshness. The film's cinematography creates a dark, moody atmosphere, heavy use of shadow dramatic lighting, and the style visual contribute to the overall tone of secrecy and danger. The color palette is rich with black, reds, and silver, emphasizing the blood-soaked nature of the film. Each scene is carefully crafted to enhance suspense and emphasize his protection. The camera work during fight scene is particularly dynamic, often following the movement of weapons or tracking the flood motion of the character. Ninja Assassin explored several key dream revenge. Razu's quest to Aish Kiko drives the narrative. The symbolism of blood, darkness, and stillness adds up to the story. The ninjas move like shadow, representing the invisible forces that control even behind the scene. The film was produced by the Joel Silver, and he waxed known for the matrixology inspired by Rain performance in Speed Racer. The wash cost him and flawed lead and built a movie around his skill. Filming took place in the Berlin and other parts of the Germany using practical scenes and green screen technology. The production team worked closely with martial arts expert and stunt coordinate to create realistic yet specular combat sequences. This direction resulted in a performance that was both physically convincing and emotionally resonant. Rainport had elevated the character from a typical action hero to a deeply conflictive protagonist. Ninja Assassin 2009 received mixed reviews from critics, but again gained strong fanbase. The movie was praised for its action sequences and visual style, but criticized for its thin plot. Despite the mixed critical reception, that film performed majority well at the box office, crossing over $60 million worldwide. It has since gained cult status among fans of martial arts and action cinema. The film reigned interest in ninja-themed movie in the late 2000s. It also helped wave for Asian actor in leading role in Hollywood action film show Return to the screen Broad Noia for fans of 1980 ninja film. Meanwhile, Ri's global popularity introduced newest to the martial arts genre. Compared to classics like Enter the Ninja or Image of the Ninja Assassin, blends modern storytelling with old-school element as visual effects and styles of violence distinguish it from earlier film that relied solely, in particular, stunt. It also stands apart from Japanese ninja film by combining Western action tropes with Eastern philosophies and aesthetic. Final H are the writing tale of the redemption and sacrifice, The Monkey 2025, a complete breakdown of the horror movie based on Stephen King's story. The filmmakers use a combination of the prosthetic practical effect and CGI to achieve the film's gruesome action. The weapon choreography involved real martial artists to ensure authenticity. The production involved accenty planning with storyboards. Guiding every major fight scene, actor interviews reveal a strong among the cast and crew. The soundtrack of Ninja Session adds to it intensity, composed by Ellen Ashariam and featuring contribution for Juno Rector. The music blends electronic beats with orchestral or arrangement. The sound design plays a vital role in enhancing the realism of diction bloods that TAs of impact and the subject cues of stealth or contribute to a fully immersive experiences. Opening Tattoo Palace introducing beautiful word out of a ninja highway. Battle features erotic mean hours and fast-paced combat. Final Showdown Riso is emotional and narrative economics. Each scene is crafty to build tension and showcases growing independence from the clan. Razu started as a loyal follower of the Orzono clan, but he is intended, if conflict driven him to be cursed, his purpose, he's act from the earless assassin to Moralvar from the backbone of the film. His relationship with Micah allows him to see a world beyond of violence. This confirmation is sly portrayed through his challenging topics and moment of hesitation. Ninja Assist 2009 introduces traditional ninja role with a modern twist. The use shadow secret training and set course also align with his depiction of ninja, while appealing to sort of contemporary. The film Bridgemate and modernity, showing how ancient traditions can influence present-day narrative. Ninja SSA remains a standout in a martial arts channel due to his fearless approach to violence. Stunning visual and a compelling lead performance by Rin. The film Infamous can still be felt in modern action cinema, especially in how it portrays ninja as bot meat and algae. Whether you are a fan of martial art movies or exploring the gender for the first time, Ninja 2009 offers an unforgettable cinematic experiences. It blends for traditional ninja things with the modern action storytelling, makes it less classic. In addition to enlisting to contribution, a free-owned martial arts star show Kosogi and Olympic D qualify for the latest BS cooperation inspired by a fight scene. The only problem is that in the process of bringing together this many skilled professionals, that the filmmakers waited until literally the last 53-hour to bring abroad as a screenwriter who could match the talent on the screen with comic book and Sakura Michael. And even he did the best he could to help out his friends. Paris shop shows artists little to recommend this impressively. Styles yet extraordinary Gromum effort, wherein or when dialogue is even uttered, is either laughable or hints that benefaced story he was interested in telling them. The simplicities of flesh and no substance once served up by Metro Sand as an urban fan of the channel. I saw the references left and right and appreciated a homage to classic martial arts sagas of Rems, but there is so little plot linked together in two distinctly different stories. The Paris beef meets Fist of Legend that ultimately it's Anon and no exercises of excess ego, and every single gallon of fake blood that was available to Warner Brothers crew during the filming of the movie in Berlin. Essentially, the heart of the film lies within the charismatic and attractive Reizo, who was taken as a boy along with many other orphans, lost or kidnapped children into the various plans where he was dominated by the sadistic lead. Ozono Var, trained to treat plan, is true to eat our candy and ask for more. The young Reizo become Javan on old tradition, yet instead of a code of honor. The Ozono have embarrassed the code of business exchanging red for green, hired out to be highest bidding government to serve as assassin. When beautiful Forsonic researcher Naomie Harris discovered a paper trail that leads from the world leader directly to the Ozono duelist Reizo, is her only hope at staying alive long enough to expose the corruption for good. Naturally has began to roll as lamb spray gases full of blood in some purposely over-the-top fight sequences inspired by vintage martial art classics. Yet, the problems with Assassin is that when it's combined with two filmao approaches and technology work right into story, the fact that they don't feel anything beyond the surface level of killer. Our Proteus is accessible from a storytelling perspective, although default watch, and since he was inviting to the party much too late. Father, this marks that Heritude is a role, follow Venta and Speed Racer, much like this production directed by James MC, have movement of artistic racism that simply thrill you, as in one consequences where a fight at Interpol headquarters leads directly into high-speed Berlin traffic, yet aside from being expertly made as patient project. There is just not enough to make you care enough about these cool, poorly written displays of eye candy. Whether it's verts, CGI audio, purest carnage of the scene, which nonetheless will entertain martial arts junkie and give you speaker a workout. As throwing start and chain seem to be splice bones from every corner of the room. Ninja Assassin is more like a live-action adaptations of man manga or an MM about ninja. The real bloody ones, where ninjas don't mess about the first time you watch Ninja Assassin, certainly is an extraordinary viewing experience, especially if you view it any cura like I had back in 2009 when this was released on a second viewing through some flaws, become apparent. So what are those FEA? As much as I love ninjas, and to see them portrayed as these almost superhuman beings who can kill without being seen, and even short of fly, there is one aspect that bitter me a little that the ninjas have not adapted to the modern society. Even with all of their superhuman skills, they can be overpowered by guns very easily. I don't know if I happened to be a ninja and I was new to, I sure would make sure I was protected by some kind of armor, or some Kavar ninja sword for some sort, or learn the art of avoiding or dogging bullets like in the Remote Williams. Also, you think about it. How is possible for one man to be so good that can't beat him, even if each of them at least are equal to him? And why are not lightning fast and super deadly all the time? Sure, ninja magic is awesome. But come on, what is the point? If so, in consciousness. Perhaps I am a little influenced by Shokusogi in his early films and how he was portrayed ninja. While his ninjas were capable of a lot grounded in a sense of realism in his films, it's shown what is he conceived as magic usually is just magic, and that there is a limited ability, even a choreography exploring one at a problem. I Care is a plot for a first-time viewing. This is a not problem, but for multiple viewing. It definitely is glitch after glitch usually in an action film like this. I don't mind that in this case, it does detract from the action. If you want me to invest it in the main character or other character, you have to do a little better and at least give them some depth. What exactly makes as also exceptional and morally right? Of course, I am not blind and can see that Showcrafter is a terrible foster father. He takes in kids when they are at their most vulnerable and exploit them, but none of them have been able to withstand his terror, but somehow has to cover to do so. Directed by James McV4, Ninja Assassin is an action thriller film that revolves around the concept of modern-day ninja. For centuries, ninja clans have existed in the shadow, committing high-profile murders for various government and private parts. Didist belonged to one such clan. Since he was a child, Ka has undergone training under the watchful eye of Lord Anzo. He develops romantic feelings for a fellow Dispel named Kiko after Ozono. Riso joins forces with Yoral Francis. These directors are for photography, Carol. Welchur and ninjas seen in various locations in and around Berlin. Several seen, including the ones set in the Ozono headquarters, were shot at the famous Ballbrick Studios in Sport, Germany. The production began on April 28, 2008. The new No movie takes place primarily in the German capital and was filmed on location, and his crew made full use of the breathtaking urban landscape of the city. According to MC, has always been impressed by the professionalism that local Clio demonstration and reportedly did not. Disappoint him on the set of The Ninja Assassin either in voice project as a film, no, and stop to depict Berlin in such a way that the city comes off as its own character. Some of the other popular films they have been short in the city-state of Berlin are Bastards, Horsam, the capital city of the German Städtebrand, situated right beside Berlin. Ninja Assassins was extensively filmed in the Babelsberg Studio, which is the world's oldest large-scale film studio. The production facility is located in the city Babelsberg district, the August Babel city to 1626. It was established in 1912 and has emerged as a vital entertainment cube in Europe since the fall of the Berlin Wall. Films like The Board Ultimatum, The Grand Hotel, and The Younger Games were also filmed in the same studio. Every so often, filmmakers will decide to make the blur list movie imaginable. The results are typically messes but fun. 300 and Short Am to mind as recent example for a time. Of course, tentled this genie are exemplified by the crazy attitude sequences in Gil. Volume 1. Now Brothers Port James MC brings us Ninja Assassin, and frankly, I did not think he had him. Ninja makes Guild look like an episode of 17 Heaven. Mr. MC's first and last film was 2005 V for Ventita, the serviceable adaptations of Alan Moore's groundbreaking graphic novel. You may remember a few sequences in that filmist, and the term seemed very Matrix sequel. Drew the air in slow motion. Cujo viewings without a team of baddies but very little invent would have this week in Ninja Assassin. The film opening sequences sets at the tone immediately by a bloody close-up of Tattoo being unministrated. The reception and his gang, and soon visited by a horde of the titular killer who do but brutal justice. Ensived goddess talks, be prepared to see people chopped in half, lambs flying off, and buckets of jeweler blood. It's all done with such a gleeful Chong-in-cheek style that it's hard not to laugh as you are simultaneously wincing. Yes, these assassins are silent but deadly. The writer's newcomer, sand and comic veteran J. Michaels pay homage to as many martial arts as possible, all the films lean noting. They also show to honor the genre from which the people. Perhaps the best example may be the casting of legendary ninja movie star Shu as the mysterious Lord Ozono. The plot itself is visually incomparable. In Berlin, 2 Bill Agent Harris and the BNM determine that a series of murder are linked to a magical undergo network of decision and quickly become Tro themselves. Our hero is a ring ninja with a bad case of a flashback. We learn how he was orphaned, trained as an assassin, and deserted his clan. Somehow, Orzo ends up protecting the true agents, but none of it holds together or honestly matters over them. It's all just filler in an action sandwich. And the action is top-notch, borrowing techniques from Japanese and martial art as well, Parker, and anything else they could get your hands on. Mr. MC and his team, a fight choreographer. Do not disappoint. The Ninja is a film, or a forces to be rocked with two meat. They have sat silently in
a shadow. They can also be found planning to DCing like something out of Aliens, and once they arrive, no one is safe. The filmmakers have said that they wanted to ninja movie for 21st century, and they are success. While the film is a star vehicle for Korean pop star, and the actors have led to do, but try to keep up. Ninja Assassin is a non-stop face for fans of the journal out, similar looking for Bloody Kill. I have finally seen Ninja Assassin, produced by the West, versus director by Sims, their second, entry director and the director of V for Ventra. The bad news is that the Naughty Incent classic or Jeaner, I figured it would be when I first heard they were making it. The good news is the naughty unwatchable trash. Most early reviews have told me it was the Scotted Movie Ninja could drop it. I just ordered a dead DVD of it, but that's okay. I still had a fun time at the movies. Here is the ticket stop. Rainspeed Cruiser plays Reizo a ninja in present-day Berlin. Should this be called a Korean ninja in Berlin due to our prejudices against ninja? We first assume he's up to no good, while flashbacks suppressed through Audi slowly unfold his story. How he was an orphan clearly raised by the great show Kosigi to give his life for a ninja clan, and why he decided to rebel against that. Meanwhile, here's Who Wish in the Pirates of the Caribbean sequel. I did not even recognize her become her American accent is no good. Plays a lowly pharaonic analysis for your Paul, who uncover proof that ninja glands exist and still carry out assassination. Of course, trying to prove the existence of ninja is like taking a bite out a hornet's nest. So when the ninja come from after hero comes to protect her. So no ninja assassin is not really a redundant light idol because he actually is. Assassinating ninja, and ninja assassin sound better than assassinator for ninja. It's the most violent movie I have seen since Punisher Warzone, but unfortunately the gore is all digital. It's still kind of funny, and I did not mind the onslaught of CJ and Jar, unfilling chain blares and whatnot. But, for some reasons, a guy getting the entire top of his head sliced off is not nearly as gratifying when it's a computer graphic as when it's a rubber recreation. I really could not tell you why. But if they would build dummies for those short, it would have been thrilling. When is it clearly just pixels? It's kind of demusing, but it does not have much of a punch. But there are plenty of cool ideas and seniors for ninja section. There are lots of visual tricks for ninja to be nearly invisible in the shadow, or to literally just be shadow climbing through a window. There is a ninja on ninjas fight in Harry's dark apartment, where she's shining a flashlight around trying to watch the whole thing. There is ninja versus SW battles with a helmet exploding. My favorite bite of action is a ninja fighting through traffic, jumping over cars, between them and getting run over. And then later on, there is a quick, hilarious shot of Harry's car parked at a hotel with about 15-inch stars stuck all over the front of it. I guess I would hardly want to. It would make me feel pretty cool. What are you wearing it? Oh, the ninja stars. Yeah, I had a little run-in earlier. No big deal. Plus, if you need a letter, like you are, pulled over changing, and you need a Ninja S. For some reasons, you can't pull one out, not used as far as remember arrows, smoke, bombs, blood, dart, wrapping hook. Come on. Ninjas, what def? You should be proud of your ninja toes, and shoots them all. Constantly, the power of the ninja also built up that seem almost supernatural, like vampires or something. Your pole knows that eventual capture a ninja. What you do is you shine bright light on him, so he has no chance of hiding in a shadow. In a movie, you hear stories about holy power goes out, and then a ninja gets you, and then later power goes out. So you know what's going to happen, like Batman or Razor can always see through any, and nobody can trick him. So when an angel tries to approach him as an ordinary stranger, he asks her, "Right land, you are from, why are you in Berlin?" When he goes to meet someone and try about being a trap, he says, "When you are doing this, people will be killed. The wash is already produces, but you did not write it." So you missed out on whatever cool touches they would be come up with. But you are also spared philosophical speeches. The secret was originally by a guy called Matt Sand, but they just say that he weren't happy with it, so that at last minute they hired J. Michaels eastward challenging various hard TV show, and he wrote a new script in 53 hours. I am surprised to learn that unless you are expecting some bold remanation of the ninja movie is not bad. The blessing is thus the great gold good build up to the ninja attack. People forget that it is just 90 minutes straight of ninja. It would get boring. They are smart enough to leave them circling out of his side for a while, but with their presence always felt like the shark in Jaw. The Chiitaban opening scene has Hand from Tokyo's Drift as a brash gangster suddenly receiving a letter full of black and white in the middle of getting a new tattoo. The old tattoo tells any terrified and tells him basically a ghost story about a time years ago when he saw one of those and how everyone hit there except him was killed by a ninja. I was hoping his character would stick around because he could be Dr. Loomis of Ninja Assassin. Of course, he leads up to a massacre of everyone in the room. And the gimmick is that you just hear sounds and weapon and go, but you will never see any attacker until it's all over. And when Ninja slowly steps out of the shadow, it's a great opening, and in retrospecting in Makeo, realizes that at the end of certain character has the same fate as the tattoo artist, leaving to tell the story of Ninja Wonder, hopefully in a sequel, he or she will face them again. The one moment that made me think of the other usual team is when young Razos consciously object from one of their ninja tasks and gets put in small kick. Resho sneaks right to her and asks her why, and she asks why I am in here or why you are out there. She teaches him about freedom. The ninja clan is like the Matrix. It makes them too cool, but it serves them, and actually is meaner than a Matrix, because the Matrix does not slush your feet for making the floorboard great during your ninja. Still does. I can't remember if any of the It Is Ninja movie does a strong moral objective to not be ninja, but is one of does so gets to have cake and eat it too. Being a ninja who kills ninja, he is like Blade. Unfortunately, having saw a play manured to reign in a ninja movie is a good symbol for the current state of fiction cinema. The old generation is represented by a guy who was all Japan character champion at the age of 18, competed in 100 of martial arts, tournament and demonstration of the LA AL in 7-2, 7-3, and 7-4, and became the biggest star of Ninja Movie. And he is passing the Tajuran, a Korean pop singer and star on TV drama, who trained with a team for 6 months to look like a fighter in the movie. I mean, it's fine. Rain did a fantastic job. He is absolutely right. He does the fights convincingly, and he is charismatic in the purposely limited character Soon. I liked him and would never guess there would be a picture of him on the web wearing one of the Brady's Wear headset microphone. There's a joke in the movie about him looking like he would be in a boy band. But still, I show you where we are at. Now you don't have action. Star you co-people to seem lighter in the movie Rain. Character also represent a new generation that breaks away from the obvious 1,000-year-old tradition of his ninja clan. But I think James could stand to be a little more shokosi and follow some old tradition. I know he's a great fighting going on. I have seen the Sunsham training video on YouTube, but he sure could stand Triple D camera back a little and show it off more. That alone could have taken the whole movie up in one nose. The power of the ninja also built up seems a lot almost supernatural, like vampires or something. Your Aropels knows when you are a capture ninja. What you do is you shine bright lights on him. It was an ordinary weekend in a mid-2010. My mom's boyfriend at the time had a diver collection consisting of various genre and had been introducing new films into my report track as an ag, and still watched the movies like it is his first time. I was introverted when he told me about Ninja Assassin, a revenge check, morally gay character having to fight against their past life. Check Sire for redemption. Check as artist liberties for Japanese culture and/or secret society team. Bonus check. So after regaling me over his premise, he probably revived into the player, and the movie began my favorite while viewing the opening film with the first skill are the film. This is the cheesy ninja series, rising up from the shadows like ghost cartoon fake-looking blood. I will talk combat movies. It was so bad that it was entertaining. I was having a blast as I am writing this. I am calling the movie camp. Part of me want to proclaim that, but the other part believes that the movie does not take itself that seriously. The movie is not delusional to believe that this Esimao, while handing a serious topic, neurally looking at you, "Mommy dear, it's a fine film, mean to be fun." It has a K-pop idol playing the main Japanese character, which makes it casting even furniture after getting into the K-pop and learning who Rain is. I say all this because I like this movie, and it orally has become a favorite. The black female lead, played by Naomie, Harris, and the Asian male, Lee Jun Norgus, despite alluding to romantic chemistry with the dialogue like I was waiting for you. Frankly, it pisses me off in a not-so-serious way, because it would have just made a dynamic between the two much more fleshed out. I never wanted two people to kiss as much as I did with Micah and Reizo. Why it could not take is, generally, there is a lack of ambio-media depiction. Despite what my Instagram algorithm shows me, the depiction of this relationship type is not as common in main-S media. I simply Google search of mainstream movie with ambo shows some movies with partings between white and people. A few movies I can think of having an ambio coupling are Sun's Romeo's Master 2000, and Sun is also a star 2019. Personally, I have only seen, one out of the 3 movies illustrated by a greedy book for the later film. However, these examples pale in comparison to the many depiction of a white protagonist in a romantic relationship with a non-white partner. As I watched the chemistry sizzle between Ma and Razo, I wondered why they never kissed, especially during dangerous situation where they could have died. Firstly, I believe the romance in the film was inconcessional. The film is about Razo seeking revenge on the ninja claimed the Ozono that told his childhood identity and freedom. Micah Ketty is a forensic researcher that looked too closely into the clan's activities and how it is tied into secret government dealing and evidently putting her life in a danger. The two lead up as they both need each other to be able to complete their respective goal, the romances and accidental happening. Secondly, it could potentially not have happened because of contractual obligation. As mentioned earlier, the display is played by a K-pop idol who was very popular at the time of the film's release. Idols are known not to share a romantic relationship due to know how fans could potentially react negatively to the idol and their partner. Plus, public persons are tied into the marketing and money of the company that presents the artist. So, it could have been in the Rain's contract. However, I believe the film was afraid to commit to the idea of love between these two characters because of pre-existing stereotype and expositions of black women and Asian men. According to a Pop Sugar Co. article by the Canal History Asian, which is this article, we refer to individual who identify as East Asian Sean or S Asian man. black-woman relationships, and incredibly few and fall between any popular film or television that causes two Fold One films with a black lead easily fall into the trap of becoming a black movie, which often underculturally presses races as mainstream movie, and two, the archaical, cinematic depiction of black women and Asian men did not exactly execute romantic potential paragraph 2 to emphasize this point. A Western media, particularly American, has a pure of reductive and harmful stereotype embedded into all forms of media and culture in the article, "Let's End the Undesirable Asian Male Style Drive." The item notes that a recent study that conducted and analyzed these films over the past 25 years show that Asian American male representation of stereotype such as charmed or near are prevalent in the media. Then paragraph 4. I am sure a few TV show or movies have popped up in your head as you read their quote. For me it was 16 Candle, 1984, with a character of Long Duck Dong and a Big Bang Theory. Again, I have not watched The Big Bang Theory, but I have watched the 5 analysis videos about the show and how the characters are a fictional character. The character is a reflection of this perception, almost reinforcing our narrative that Asian men are undeserving of a virtue type of love compared to their white counterpart. As a black woman, the stereotype they have followed his demographic shows an exceptionally identified finesse. Black women have a triple WHMI of race, gender, and sexuality working in tandem mostly for their judgment. Black women have been seen as loud, aggressive, hypersexual, etc. 48 paragraph. Black women have never fit into the mold of traditional femininity because of the history of racism in Western nation. White women are the default when it comes to who is considered pure or feminine. This has afforded group protection that many women of color, especially black women, have been denied and stripped of. Black women in the media have been regulated to deceive best friend the Jezebel, the angry black woman, and so on. These are not just overdone, outdated props. There has been recent research based off of her dating preference that show that Asian men and black women are statistically the least romantically desired by those with racial dating preference in their respective gender categories. Hill paragrapher. While these coupling are only rising in 2020, it would be negligent to ignore the history of race and politics that shape how people navigate in Yule relationship. In her desertion, Michaels explore the challenges that couple face. There is a need for more research to address, and movie provide ways for this couple to cope with advertised such as familial resistance, sociological stereotype, and unwarranted public attention. In the United States international relationship, in contrast, there is an evident lack of the literature and in case studies regarding AMW couples. The lack of the representation is resounding. If people do not see these pairings presented in the media, that they consume the knowledge of these dynamics between the IMW is valuable. Relationship is that is rooted in stereotype and liking. Known's people may determine that these relationships are a joke or not, meant to be taken seriously. I cannot speak on behalf of the people involved with the movie. However, these elements could have been inspired on the film, but was ultimately decided against due to the potential expectation and backlash from Ernest in displaying this type of romance editor being different is hard, because invoke change and changes come from comfortable. However, without changing his rare or would be no progress. Slowly, more media representing this dynamic or dare as long to our life imitates art since Arambabu couples are becoming more prevalent on social media and in everyday life, or media is catching up to our new norms. According to him, the white minority interactual relationship has been the most represented on screen, instigating important discussion on privilege and social standing. But there are so many other racial and cultural dynamics between the communities of color that have yet to be truly dissected in media, taking full advantage of the art form's ability to stalk social commentary. Hence the reason why I feel like a movie from almost 16 years ago could have pushed the boundary. Seemingly made to capitalize on a GBO CG animation, namely thus slicing our bodies in half by wishing 5.2 stars. Ninja Session has little else to recommended, not even love. Working again with the brothers as producer, director James MC delivers a lower, bro, somewhat leave. Work GE Dreams V for Vendetta. But unless the viewer is easily delighted by for its own sake, this skinny, bloody movie about a young ninja's remains a geek trainer will disappoint bros. Number 25 releases should nonetheless prove effective as holiday, Samum conjure programming at least in the short term. Korean pop star reincarnate as Rizzo, a limber bone snapper trained from a young age by Seeker Society of Child-Educing Killer for Hire Ninja. Early flashbacks reveal Rizzo to have been taken in as orphan by the Ozuno clan, which BD files by running away in the wake of the sweetheart murder by cold-blooded Lord Ozono. The big presented action set in the Berlin revolves around Mike Corey, a gorgeous Eopol agent whose late-night saluting uncovers a financial connection between recent political assassination and the Ozono. Naturally, the agent herself is targeted for assassination. A Chief Osuno Betty T and his blade-o-tossing ninja comrades calm West to force hiding investigation, as he possessed of the psychic power Roizo hiding out in Europe sends a chance to save a lovely lady. Vicky had failed in the same task years before. Eventually the film leads to AL shootout and a pair of unmemorably acrobat icy Jews between the Razo and his too arguable older brother Takeshi, and raspy voiced father Ozono ninja assassin is impossible on countless level res to feel nothing. At least guess with Rai's ability to emote nothing. Harry's a strong presence in Michael Mann's Miami OS feature requires herself capably, here reacting believably to insert carnage around her. Of course, the film's reason is blood-soaked. Combination of physical stunt and digital trickery that later forward to a fault, while net remotely on par with Wayson's bullet effects in The Matrix. The ridiculous torrent of flying blades and flare flesh here does appear unique in the technological term, and certainly pushes the pacing to its limit. Indeed, such as the film's level of inspirative goal that is frustratingly dark texture of many fight scene shorts can perhaps be explained by a post-production bid to avoid an NC-7. Whatever the case, the shared reaction is too often incomprehensible, except in the general scene that leads limbs and torsos are being served in the massive number to be had from the sort of human meat carrying. It is not found by MCI and his key calibrator, including the conventionally quick catching election, is in its inversive sound design as chain, and my other weapons seem to sail around the theater at times, helping to clarify the dimly light action seemingly made to capitalize on a dubious CG animation. Namely, that slicing our bodies in half by using 5-pointed SARS Ninja Session has little else to recommend. It not even laugh working again with the brothers. As producer-director James MC delivers a lower blow, Some words leave, worked, and teams of a higher vendetta. But unless a viewer is easily delighted by ultra-violence for its own sake, this teeny-plated movie about a young ninja's arranged cable trainer will disappointed Warner Brothers. November 25th release should nonetheless prove effective as hoary contragramming, at least in the Lost. Korean pop star Rain Gun's only Ahem Drizzle as Rizzo A, Lambor Bone Snapper trained from a young age by a secret society of child-abducting killer for hire ninja. Early flashbacks reveals to have been taken in as an orphan by the Onzono clan, which he defies by anywhere in the wake of the Sweatheart. Mother by cold-blooded Lord Ozono Shokosongi depicts his present day. Action set in the Berlin devolves around Mahi, a gorgeous European agent whose late-night solo king uncovers a financial connection between the recent political assassination and the Ozono. Naturally, the agent herself is targeted for the assassination as Chief Ozono. Betty Teishi and his blood-dosing ninja comrade come west to forbly hardy investigation as a process of physics power. Resso, hiding out in Europe, sends a chance to save a lovely lady where he had failed in terms years before. Eventually, the films leads to a Yor Lee show and a Piero of an admirably acrobatic duel between and his two arable older brother Toxie and Res father Ozono. Ninja assassin is impossible, on countless level razor training to feel nothing. At least girls, our train's ability to emote. Nothing Harry's a strong presence in Michael Mann's Miami was future Equip herself capably here, reacting the believably to the incense carnage around her. Of course, the film's resonance detour is. Seriously, its blood-soaked combination of physical stunt and tictory, the latter favored on two of fault while not remotely on par with Aqua's bullet term. Dotris, the ridiculous tornado of flying bullets in Flush, does appear unique in technological term. Mutant Ninja Turtle or even J-Heroes from Teen Ninja might come to mind, but Ninja's Assassin offers a whole new level of intensity and gore. Directed by James M.C. and Steering Rain, this film sets itself above its hyper-violent action sequences and stunning fight choreography. Unlike the 80s flossy like American Ninja, this movie combines sleek production, various use relentless science was while we explore the RTC behind the fight scene. From laser chain with weapon to the film's climate battle featuring ninjas versus rocket launchers. This is a ninja film that does not hold back on the brutality, delivering a watch's whisker experience that is now thrilling as it is gruesome. For this win, what is small? Mostly annoying and completely inappropriate to blink to a showing-off ninja. If you guess a small yap dog, you are wrong. Try again. If you guess a cell phone, you are wrong. And you see suck to get another guess. The answer is a freaking 10-year-old kid. I was in the theater with a woman video who brought a kid who was a turn at the oldest. She brought a key to see one of the bloodiest and glorious film of all time. RTF AMC modeling added judgment car. Wait, if you really think about it, maybe that's the ultimate test to an awesome movie. If a woman is willing to ruin a nonsense and surpass so she badly wants to watch a movie, then it must be one hell of movie. And I can honestly say Ninja Assassin was one hell of a movie. So good choice of woman. Ninja Assassin is about a ninja played by Rianne, who is an assist, who kills other ninja who assassinated people to keep from spoiling anything. That's all I will say. But that's all. That really matters. He does a lot of people, and it's awesome. When I interviewed David Lynch, he mentioned that he had a lot of drum jury hairs, the constant of this film. While the action was fantastic, bravo, bravo action was brutal and bloody, just the way I like it. Some people describe Ninja Assassin as being a gore, fast, or blood-soaked. Well, that's just silly. I would describe it as being a jun of blood. You could have a pen, someone in all corno, a blood would have erupted. Now, there's many sound ridiculous, and it is about in a really good way. It was just the right amount of sweetness. It would make you go, oh, angry. Your body part of just slice a phone screen and culch love laugh. Great one. I was discussing the movie before it started and decided to accept at least 4 expectations within the movie. My expectations wage greatly exceeded at least 2 deputations within the first 5 scenes. I was trying to keep track of total number inspections, but people were just going to voice is way too fast for me to strike. I looked drone for a second to make a tally mark, and when I looked back up, 20 more people were dead. Now that is the problem I'm willing to lie with. Some critics have complained that there is no plot and is bringing. It's fine that you feel that way, but you wouldn't have to be respectfully disagree and say, well, you guys, sure, there is not too lot of plot going on. But he set up some plot so that people are trying for some seminars. As a result, they give you very good. His body is pretty damn likable too. So ladies, and some of you agents, jams keep that in mind, as well as the boring goals. Sure, it has some slow part. I think there's about 5 minutes total of talking. Oh, come on. Ninja Assassins was fiction. You could not have felt one more drop of blood in there, and it was a boring action. It was good for space action. This movie is an action lover dream. Just enough story to know why people are drawing and dry deck. So to sum up, action lovers must see Ninja Assassin. I had an absolute blast. Within a movie, I never once thought how much longer is this. It was super pumped film that kept me interested the whole time. Oh, and don't forget to bring a knot trouble. You are going to need it, and maybe an arc for when he flood, or blood really gets big. The ninjas unleash can assault on group of men. A random guy's leg gets hooked with a knife on a chain and gets yanged up toward the ceiling. As he is pulled into the shadow, you hear some slicing sounds, and then you see it gallons of blood file to the floor, and then you notice that what is left of the guy is mixing with the blood. Yes, Eloxy just call him Humpty Dumpty. There was an overabundance of the explosion is mostly some Riso kicking ass and painting the throne with blood. However, there was at least one small Kaban EOP agent shoot a rocket launcher at a building, causing several small explosions. Okay, so I broke alphabet tax up is disparate. The 1947 Nowhere by Another Man, but instant gratification is the name of the game when you are dealing with the films of the nature instrument, gets his head graphically sliced on half on camera with obvious blood. I was actually expecting that is a lot of blood. Also, I thought this was a Scott-egging movie. In my defense, Ninja 2009 and Ninja Assassin 2009 is an understandable mistake. There's also a random concussion kid in Ninja Can classes instead of the static Korean actor known as Guy. I don't think I have seen any of this. The Roma and Harris as he... does he just specialize in playing because she was the some ex-character in The Accountant. She's definitely not trying very hard. But in the hard defense, this is movie about Ninja's assassin. Who some gangsters at 2009 martial arts movie produces by the Watch Faces is performing well during his run on streaming. Made their directorial debut when the crime thriller Bound in 1986. After pinning the second play for 1995, Sylvester Stallone movie Assassin. But the sibling start of the global film Avonte wrote and acted the 1999 science fiction action films The Matrix starring Co Reeves, Jerry Ani Les Fisherborn and Keo Javim. The movie was made with the Whisper critical acclaim and is considered a modern classic, as well as one of the greatest and most influential fan fiction film ever made. Following the unexpected successes of The Matrices, DEU wrote and directed The Matrix Reloaded and Devolume, both as well as explaining the Matrix franchise in the realm of video game and animation balancing out from the series. They also wrote this Domian action movie V4 Vent, as well as making spot action comedy Speed Dresser and a Mission NZ Cloud at Class. After writing and directing the space opera Jupiter Ascending in 2015, they co-created the sci-fi drama TV show Sons for Netflix's. But in 2009, martial arts section films the producers also performing well on set filming. Released in 2009, Ninja Sessions was directed by James M.C. and written by J. Michael and Son and produced by the Joel Silver following a De Leon assistant seeking a case of former mentor. The movie performed modest at the box office, crossing $61.6 million against a production budget of $30 million, but it was critically banned, scoring just 26% on Rotten Tomato. I also believe the recent releases of The Matrix on Biomodont Plus, as well as a Jupiter Ascerning debuting on Max, have brought renewed attention to the back catalog. Despite this, the movie is currently performing well during its Sentient on SBO streaming platform, Max. At the time of the writing, the film is sitting at number 4 on a platform top 10 movies today for United States, just behind The National Lamps, Christmas Fiction at number 3, Elf at number 2, and BitJoy. BitJazz at number 1. The film is a he of class. At number 5, The Goon at number 6, The Polar Express at number 7, Big Mad at number 3, That Press at 9, and Superman Jack Christopher released Story to Him at number 10. There are a number of the reasons why Ranger Session could be enjoying an unexpected run on Max. With the fact that it's martial arts, action provides easy watching activism, as well as a departure from the delage of Foskey films currently dominating the streaming platform. But I also believe the recent releases of The Matrix on Paramount Plus, as well as repeated Ascending debuting on Max, have both brought renewed attention to the watchback catalog, which will no doubt have helped fuel the success of Ninja Assassin in all, and could even lead to Ninja Assassin entering development. The original is the cult favorite produced by the What Will Ninja Assassin 2 Ever Happen? The Matrix was a groundbreaking blockbuster upon releases in 1989, and the influence of Enemy on the project was no secret, particularly 1995 Ghost in his Shell. This anime influences would continue throughout their work, including the Matrix sequel and Speed Racer. The VFX's worker with S Korean Superstar, or E, on Speed Racer, and after being impressed by his fighting skill, decide to craft an old-fashioned ninja movie around him. This led to 2009 Ninja Assassin, where Ren plays an outcast from a cub ninja clan who becomes a target when he tries to bring them down. Naomie had his Sue started as Eurobell Aant, helping Ree, and the movie was directed by James MC, who previously helped V4 Works. The movie was also heavily inspired by the unnamed work of especially Ninja Scroll, as also directed segment anthology. The entire Mattresses, while Ninja Season was a cute box office smash. It was a fun gold action rain. The film has become a cult item in a year since its releases, but will Ninja Assistant Show ever happen? Prior to the release of the original movie, producer Joel Svin confirmed there was an idea for Ninja Season 2, but he did not elaborate on the concept. James MC also confirmed sequel conversation had taken place, but we're waiting to see how their movie performed before pressing forwards. Ninja Assassin ended up grossing just over $60 million during its thecal bow on budget of $40 million. Factoring in marketing, it's unlikely the movie was very profitable. But on DVD, Blu-ray, it would take in 40 to 20 minutes. While the film likely broke, even it appeared luck performances, any talk of Ninja Assassin 2. The watches were a big dreaming films behind Ninja Assassin, by the siblings appear to have essentially retired. The most recent POC project, Cloud Atlas, and the Jupiter Ascending Board, underperformed and following the final of their Netflix series. Sensei, they can put here studio and office up for sale with no new projects on the horizon. Rumors suggest the system are stepping away from the movie, a business for good. While reports, as a matrix of robot might happen, there has been almost nothing weird about a Ninja Assassin 2 without pushing for sequel. It seems very unlikely it will happen now. The first movie has a cult fan base, but is doubtful the studio would see the benefit in pushing for Ninja Assassin in light of moderate financial performance of the original. The argument has been made several times that people learn things from Hollywood, whether it's not an optionated fact-filled documentary like foreign hit 911 and Inconvenient Truth, or research documentary like Morgan's Super Low Size Mess are always trying to teaching us something, but only if we are listening. Longtime visitor and regular commenter Zeber was listening during his viewing of Ninja Season and decided to share what he learned with us last weekend. Our popular open discussion, Witness Day thread. Check out what he had to say after his jump. 12 things I learned from watching Ninja Assassin. Ninjas project an arrow offer such mysterium and terror that their blood as well as the blood of those around them curdles into a viscous substance, not unlike the delicious strawberry jam. Alter ninjas have lightning-fast reflexes and have been trained to use all 5 senses to superhuman dies. They have a hard time doing cars screeching towards them. Sideways, similarly, even the eldest and the most skilled ninja masters can be caught unaware when a plucky Europol agent enters the room and points a weapon at them. Ceto's in versus a conic central defect in which they had another major organ from their normal position, making one mini ninja proof. Owl ninjas are trained harshly from a young age. A lot of them still suck added fighting skills and are fairly useless in the combat. When a bright light is shined on a ninja, he loses all martial art and acrobatic ability, as well as the aware vital to throw a ninja star at the light, destroying it. The previously mentioned Saki ninja will become even more useless in bright light, running directly into the part of automatic weapon fire. Female ninjas will unusually grow up to be caring, kind, and compassionate. Despite being raised in an environment that harshly and voluntarily discourages such behavior, ninjas are, quote, seeing no forcible problem with having male and female ninjas training, growing up, and even slipping into some room together. Although skilled in the art of the combat, ninjas are less skilled at financial matter, charging the equivalent value of 100 pounds of gold for all assassination. This means that this cost he seemed to kill a homeless man living under a bridge as it does to kill a highly trained government official surrounded by armed guards in high security location. Ninjas also do not recognize the changing value of accommodators. If the value of gold were to suddenly drop, the ninja industry would quickly crumble. A healthy adult female can easily be made to fit inside a laundry washing machine with room to spare. When someone becomes aware of existence of the ninja plans, they will be quickly executed. However, House will not be searched for any document that prove their existence, at least not truly. All good friends. Zaber, thanks for opening up our eyes and making us become better people by listening and learning from what movies are trying to teach us. Al, you should probably sleep with lights on for a few days just to watch off any angry ninja. It was an ordinary weekend in the mid-2010. My Most Boyfriend editor had a Divide production consisting of various genres and had been introduction new films into my reporter as an Aid Killed Bill fan who can quote and still watch the movies like it is the first time. I was introduced morally gray character having to fight and life check sis are for redemption check artists liberties of Japanese Yakuza culture and or secret society team. Bonus check. So after regarding me with this premise, he prog me divide into player, and the movie begin my first night while viewing the opening sounds and the first skills. Al film, this is so cheesy. Ninjas rising up from the shadow, like ghost cartoon or fake looking blood over the top. Combat movies. It was so bad that it was entertaining. I was having a blast. As I'm writing this, I am enjoying this movie camp. Part of me want to be proclaimed that, but the other part believes that the movies does not take itself that seriously. The movie is not to believe that is as welling a serious topic poorly moment dessert. It is a film named to be fun. It has a K-pop idol playing the main Japanese character, which makes the casting even funnier after getting into the K-pop and learning who Rain is. I say all this because I like this movie, and it has become a favorite. I recently rewatched the movie The Out There and was reminded of an element that bothered me when I first viewed it. The black female lead, played by Naomie Harris and Asian with a Jewish, despite alluding to romantic chemistry with dialogue like I was waiting for you. Frankly, it pissed me off in a not-so-serious way, because it would have just made a dynamic but really too much more fleshed out. I never wanted two people to kiss as much as I did with Micah and Rizzo, who I could not, they kiss. Generally, there's a lack of NBA media, despite what my Instagram algorithm shows me. The description of his relationship type is not as common in mainstream media. I simply Google search of mainstream movie, with Ambo shows movies, with partners between Divide and Asian people. A few movies I can't think of having in coupling are Cinderella, Romeo Must Die 2000, and His Son is Also a Star 2019. Personally, I have only seen one out of the 3 movies listed by the reading book for the Bloom. However, these examples pale in comparison to the many destruction of a white protagonist in the romantic relationship with a non-white partner. Firstly, I believe the romance in the film was inconceptional. The film is about Reizo seeking revenge on Ninja Clan and Zono that stole his childhood identity and freedom. Ninja Assassin is a first-action movie this fall that delivers on what it promises, less of ninja action. I'm a sucker for good ninja fight, no matter how choreographed it is. The silent but dirty ninja was a huge part of the 90s-80s action movie subculture since I grew up in the 80s. I have seen every one that I can get my hands on. Yes, that include American Ninja. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ninjas doing what they do best, being sneaky. I have slowly kept into the popular culture over time. Midbusters did an inter-episode on Ninja Mid, and Lore, any website, AskNinja.com, has grown in popularity in the recent year. Ninja Session Scene is a good not great attempt at making a good ninja action flick by director James Mim, but it's far from perfect. The opening scene sets the tone for the type of action we are going to be treated to, highly stylish, bloody and violent as just Ninja would do it. There are so many S-names in Ninja Season that I was beginning to think I was watching a Saw movie or saying Private Ran except Ninja. The plot of the movie is actually pretty good. That is, the ninja story is good. The non-ninja related material, however, is garbage. The main focus is one of a lesser degree redemption. I also couldn't help but feel a bite of siblings relying between the resume and as they compete to win favor with their father. Ozuno played Brantley by old-school movie Ninja Legend. So there are 9 ninja clans that have been around for 1,000 years and increase their ranks by kidnapping children and raising them in a way of ninja until they become Lin Man as kicking machine. Over time, Arzo, They are promoting out to be Next Citizen. Kent would have been much better off handing out plastics covered in fake blood to promote ninjas as if you spend your short revealing in a Western martial art film. Then this could be the film you were always wanting to say, instead of the traditional side of wobbly choreography. Being carried out by least actors, there's not a criticism by the global film. To it, for comparison, is Blood. They both were already aware of heavy comic book styling, with the violence being stretched into the realism of fantasy. And as in the first Blood, with the overly computer-generative effect, your two is onlyest with the color at looking more like the old camera rather than the likes and using the sound. I suspect that the getting rating would have been extremely difficult. Film had been classic at a certain point. It also shares Blair's use of what I would describe as a 2-beat fight scene with music of tempo mid-fight and increase the excitement level awards on screen. The best example being Whistler Rescue Startup. It's incredibly difficult to describe how our reactions dance, or without spoiling the joy of seeing them. I have never been before no gate throwing start could look in the film, or even Sun. For that matter, they flew so loudly across the screen again that my cackling laughter was thankfully drowned out, especially as there's something hysterical about what he has showed up today I would describe as a ninja film. I did vary a little way into the film, as after a strong opening and a moment of sheer gig joy, which is not only did, by torchlight, I own myself bemoaning some fight sense for being too darkly light and edited too quickly. However, it will be a dead move, was an intentional decision to keep the on-screen fighting varied and make the artist audiences save your dire and sequences. So be awaited. The PL dialogue and characters are sheer throwback to simple term, but it's to M's credit that he keeps everything to so entertaining. But it makes you wonder how any people were in on joke. Now, Miss Har certainly has experiences delivering kings, including dialogue before I'm looking at you, 28 days later, and here she's lines with all legends of a bag of Elmers being thrown on a metal staircase, while Band M comes off much better as the token bride, B assembly after working with before the greatly underappreciated reform, when deter ancient proverbs are being banded about Indian assist like they were going to be out of. So it's lucky that Show is on hand to show everyone how it's done, bringing our necessary gravities and elements to his role. That makes me appreciate him even more, like an 80 treasure, who's once more been uncovered for a new generation. To museum, he delivering his finest performance to that Korean pop star as he tried to learn. Ninja Assassin is something to behold. Despite jokes being made in the film about his boy, had bad experiences. As he sets about killing everything on screen, his performances in the flashbacks was substantially better. The price to be paid when his modern-day self is few for emotion. Just to give you an idea of how easy film is, the narrative structure pans out like this. A mega wellness and gore, plot flashback weapons, exercises, montage fight, repeat them 99 minutes runtime. I was happy to bounce my own thought. It was a sheer guilty prayer and found the straightforward simplicity refreshing, especially after the professed bloated glitches written headache that was Avatar, in fact, at Thing Flow at the screen in Ninja Session, which felt 3D, So perhaps James MC will use it. In equal, I will certainly be there, only next time I will take my friends as was the only dreaming missing from a great night out. Many students' college degrees, the release of any metric martial arts film, particularly those involving ninjas. While the newest ninja movie is sure to have peak interest of many fans, Ninja Assassin may not be exactly what movie jaws are expecting. The film follows the plight of young ninja assassin, Pso, a natural ninja and one of the world's deadliest ninja assassin for her. While the life of the rest before the upbringing by the Ozunos clan is left unknown aside from him being orphaned, Rizzo is soon bred and raised away from a normal childhood to become a living weapon, and assessing so little that defeat is unknown to him. Elsewhere in the world, Agent Me is an agent for Yorpool, who is investigating money transforms linked to political murder, and discovered that several of the most successful and unexplained assassination can be linked to the Ozunu clan. She goes against Weslow, her superior, who believed the ninja conspiracy theory to be made. Investigators further into the case they're trying secreted, which explain more about the claim and the ninja assassin. Once the clan finds out about the investigation, they sent several ninjas to attempt to assassination, but Court is narrowly rescued by the Rees. It is revealed that Rezo warriors had harbored rest toward the clan. The bailing is them after his first official mission is completed, narrowly escaping certain that in the process, Rezo goes into hiding, waiting to exact revenge on his former clan together. Razo and Mam desperately see to find a way to exact the Rezo's remains and take down the Ozono clan for the political assassinations permanently, while trying to survive the curse of ninjas descending on them from nowhere. The film has a strong star that carries an air of promise which turns suddenly to an air of confusion. While the film comes off in movie ads and views as being test show itself to be fair from, it is clear that story is very simplistic and neutral to the level of violence and want that is not remotely close to the illness of ninja. Ninja assistants fixed many laboratories unearning the history of ninja and technical fighting, almost boasting itself as being inconsistent and formulaic for true fans of ninjas or martial arts in the general. We wanted Ninjas a Season turn away from the finest martial art displays of the past to a go blood fest, leaving many ninja fan disappointing ninja assassin runs. 99-minuter for such a strong, bloody style violence throughout the film, and some song language. I want to like ninja. I want to pulpy old school, hyper-violent true. Back like data suggests that two words thrown together don't necessarily evoke the imagery of classic karma, but have the promise Sibley diverting action thriller. However, it seems that nobody told the writer and that it is. Despite this surprising director, the movie is just one big blocked mess and seems to aspire to a complexity that nobody expects of it and fails miserably. There seemed to be an occasional moment where the film grabs the potential of the concept, acknowledging a sort of trend, polite, nostalgic approach to pop culture trash. But most of the films takes itself far too seriously, but without the skill necessary to succeed, as the film it seemed to be one to be. There are moments captured throughout the run, charm like little nuggets of gold, when camera work feels a little gritty and greeny, as if shot on substandard films, or broadcast from a projector that has been better, this given the entire film was shot on digital. It seems that they're conspicuous, These shorts are that they're just long enough to suggest a director want to pay style homage to all these ridiculously bloody martial art from films of old. Most of the film is shot in the short of ultra-modern high-definition and digital style, like a full color scene city, particularly notable during a confession on a rainy road. Other times the films just look like any other film, with no hint of thought or person poured into the film. There is clear that delineations between the style and no lacking in them. The pulpy shorts are now flashback and style-heavy shot are not set in the modern film, is hyper-saturated, flooding the screen with ridiculously red blood. I recognize that this old-favored than heavily statued look, but use a practical effect made him seem a little clearer than perhaps the claws should have. Opting for a poorly physical effect, at least for blood, might have worked well, and see, we have CGI blood inserted into scene where it is otherwise. So that's disastrated. It's hard to determine what exactly is going on. The problem is that the CJ is conscious and awkward. Similarly, the film can't decide whether it wants to how it addresses with impressive fees, fight choreography, or whether it meant to being impressed is always with a special effect. It is not to do it at a special level, but it has great difficulty adapting to any great joy to approaches. The film uses slow motion and intense close-up, and all the other tricks and tools are made associated with the general. I'm not one who would dismiss these tricks in the hands of good director, those old tricks being new life to film. However, they seem to be deployed here with a little sense of the taste, and so knows they belong, but can't place them properly. The whole thing just seemed like a big mesquite trick made with little regard for how movie as a whole might work, or in some cases, even the scene as whole. It was mismatched and poorly legized. For example, the movie features one particularly in sinister ninja assassin, who can pretty much turn invisible. Such a dust might work really well in a movie structure around idea of portrait martial art as almost mystical, but it has no place in a movie that leans so heavily on semi-automatic machine gun and tactical tea. The movie might as well be titled Ninjas vs. W, but would still be disappointing. The plot is jumble again, one wonder slot. Difficult it might have been to get a simple idea like ninja assess to work, but the film's repeat is subject matter with, quite frankly, the ridiculous amount of seriousness. There's a flashback and a romance and a correlated entrepreneurial history between the gold guy and the bad guy, coupled with a bunch of international Europe agents, none of which is really necessary, and none of this should be delivered to the Odysseys with such a solemn sense of the contemplation. The movie conversions of complexity as the future flashbacks might give the movie some depth. The simple fact is that the honest guess pretty much all the plot point. Arlet was told by a very bad man. I rejected his evil way right out of the box. The movie's attempt to explain these pull-out points just feel awkward, and tried ninjas just does not work, which is one can sense that is trying to be an homage to all these pulpy or kung fu movies, but it just does not have the skill or even the necessary to pull it off. My first start, while viewing the opening scene and first kills of the film, is a so-sci fake-looking blood over-the-top combat movies. It was so bad that is blast. As I'm writing this, I am torn on calling the movie camp. Part of me want to be proclaimed that. But the other part believes that the movie does not take itself that seriously. The movie is not ridiculously to believe that it is SMA while handing a serious topic overly. It is filmed to be filmed. It has a K-pop idol playing the main Japanese character, which make the casting men even funnier after getting into K-pop and learning into Rainies. I say all this because I like the movie when it is unidentically has become a favorite. I recently re-watched the movie the other day and was reminded of an elements and bowed me when I was first the black female lead played by Naomie Harris and the ice lead Yune kiss despite alling to romantic chemistry with dialogue like I was waiting for you. Frankly, I pisses me off in a not so serious way because it would have just made the dynamic between the two much more fleshed out. I never wanted two people to kiss as much as I did with Micah and Rezo. We could not be kissed. Generally, there's a lack of medium as desired with my Instagram admixture of this relationship tribe is not as common in the mainstream media. I simply Google search for mainstream movies with MBO shows, movie with the partnership between the white and Asian people. A few movies I can think for having an AMBW coupling armband. 1987, Romeo Must Die. 2000, and the sun is also a star. 2019, personally, I have also seen only out of the team Real Estate, but I read the book of the later films. However these examples were in the comparison to the many respects of Protac partner. Firstly, I believe the romance in the film was in consciousness. The film is about Razor seeking revenge on a ninja clan, the O-Soul his childhood attentive, and freedom. McCoy is foreign researcher that looked too closely into the clan's activities and how it dies, into the secret government dealings impuring her life in the danger. The duelist seem they both need each other to be able to complete it. Respective go is an accidental happening. Secondly, it could potentially not have happened because of contra obligations. As mentioned, Kia, the male lead is played by K-pop idol, who was very popular at the term for movies. Idols are known to share their romantic relationship due to no fans could potentially react negatively to the idol, and the partners plus public persons are charged into the marketing and money or the company that was presented to artist. Or it could be him being in Oprah contract. However, I believe the films were afraid to come to idea of being between these two characters because of the pre-existing stereotypes and the executions of black women and Asian men. According to ProSP.com article by Kenny Hill, Historically Asian, which is this article will refer to the individual who identifies as he's Asian.